to take place.
He's up now.
Is he ready to go?
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and bring in our first guest for our interview today, which is none other than the VP of Athletics, Vice President and Director of Athletics, as they said at the Jackson State University. Ashley Robinson. So let me make sure that I do him justice and get it correctly, because he's been in many places as he's trained and groomed himself. So he's had so many titles that I tend to forget, whether it's Director of Athletics, Athletic Director, Associate Commissioner, Assistant Commissioner, Compliance, VP of Athletics, Prairie View. He is a Valley State. He is a vice president. He is a plethora of director of athletics, man. He got so many roles, man. We're going to start nicknaming you Mr. Jamaican and the way you going over there. But a good friend of mine, I had a good time of working with him at Prairie View over many years. So while I was sad to see him leave Prairie View, I was happy for his family getting to go home. As having a colleague like Charles that I've learned and gained a lot of respect from Jackson State University, I was happy in many ways that he had this opportunity to go in that direction, because I knew at the end of the day he would do a great job. Now, you can send a check in the mail, Ashley, with those comments. Man, because I won't say anything else nice about you. Now, but with that said, tremendous job in regards to APR, academic progress rate. We've seen tough things happen for many of the HBCUs, and obviously, unfortunately, because people are so passionate and don't want to see this, that the ugly side of the APR has probably got too much of the news, to be honest. But what Jackson State was able to do needs to be talked about, so we decided to reach out to you and ask you about the APR. Before I give you the mic, I would like to pass it over to Charles, the former bring you in as the Tigers of Jackson State University would probably do it. I'm gonna let the man himself do it.
No doubt about it. We'd like to definitely welcome to Dr. Fields inside the HBCU Sports Lab, Vice President of Intercollegiate Athletics at the Jackson State University, Mr. Ashley Robinson.
Lord. I know the mic off. I know that brings chills to your back, Dr. Man.
Yes.
Turn the mic off.
Yeah, we do have a mute button over here.
Thank you guys for the introduction, and thank you all, Dr. Cavill and Mike. I really enjoy your show, and thanks for what you do for HBCUs. I think this is a very big deal, big platform. So I want to start off by saying I appreciate what you do for what you do for us. I want to say thanks for having me, and yes, I'm happy and enjoyed to be a part of the Jackson State University. That's my we're very proud, very passionate, and we got some of the best fans and the best alumni in the country, and I really do mean that. And also have some of the best athletes and coaches and administrators are here at Jackson State. As you know, we did a really good job, and I kudos to my student athletes, to my academic staff, to the university, to all the assistants, faculty, and staff. As you know, APR is a university thing. A lot of people think APR is just in athletics, but it has something to do with the whole university. And the university support that we have to assist our student athletes on and off the field is very big. So I want to say thank you to the faculty and staff. I want to say thank you to my staff, my athletic staff, my associate AD Hakeem McCullen, and his staff that's done a really good job. And a special thanks to my student athletes. I mean, they brought into the vision, came here to play sports. And I tell my student athletes, let's leave here with a championship and let's leave with a degree. And some I want to leave with a championship and to be able to do that. So we've done some really exciting things in academics and athletics. Our graduation rates are 84%. Our overall APR score of a 977, which is the best in HBCUs, and football score 973, which is the best in the top 5 percentile of FCS. So, I still think we have a lot of work to do because until you get perfect, you still have work to do, and you have to continue to grow and put things in place. So we're not stopping here. We're continuing to grow our department. We'll continue to put some extra measures and things in place. As you know, when we have success, you have to continue to grow and continue to put things in place to continue that success. So we still think we have a lot of work to do on the field and off the field, and I'm very excited about it. As I talk to people and people talk about the sleeping giant, I just want to put everybody on notice, Dr. Cavill, that the sleeping giant is about to wake back up.
Y'all heard it here? No, sir. Mike, do you want to come here and ask the question? All this love going around here, man. Somebody need to tighten them up a little bit. I know you'll shake up the world.
Yes. First of all, I will start off positive, and I will say definitely congratulations. This is Mike Washington, inside the Dr. Cavill's inside the HBCU Sports Lab with my friend Charles Bishop, and of course the one and only Dr. Cavill. And this is Mike Washington from the Prairie View A&M University, aka the Hill. So no, in all seriousness, we joke around, Ashley, and kudos to you, because I believe this is like 10 years. I guess my question is, there are those who are not proponents of the APR and say, that it is a exercise in building academic eligibility mechanism versus true academic performance. I think your point is very, very valid. It is a relationship. So my question is, what has Jackson State done to cultivate such a successful relationship between coaching and athletic staff, players, and the faculty, all of the folks that are involved, to build this culture of success and have it be sustainable over time, that quite frankly a lot of HBCUs have struggled with at times? What are the key ingredients of some of the formula, if you will?
The main key, Mike, is student first. Everything we do, and I tell people, every decision that I make, all my staff, my faculty that I talk to, everything, the decision that we do, you have to make it about the student, because that's what it's all about. And you have to, you have to learn that culture. You have to learn the student. You have to, have some in-depth conversations with the students. You have to have a lot of one-on-ones. You have to have some really, really, really good faculty and staff, really good academic advisors, really good directors in your academic area, because that's a whole nother job in itself. A lot of people look at athletes and say, oh, they're privileged. Athletes have a lot on their plate. They have a lot of things to do. You look at the time management, from in the morning to the evening. You look at an athlete's schedule and you're like, wow. And you notice, if they don't, go on to play professional, once they graduate, they get jobs very easily because of the time management skills that they have. So we try to make sure we build that athlete and student first mentality. And I think that's what it's all about. We embrace our students, we embrace our parents when we talk about recruiting. We embrace the vision across campus that our faculty and staff would like for us to do to support our student athletes. And that's some of the big things, I think that's very, very important too. You look at your student athletes and you look at your provost. Your provost is a big, that's really very big on building your academic platform for your university. We want our student athletes to be students. We want them to be academically sound, just like the president scholars. And as you see this year, our SGA president, he did a really good job, and that shows some of the things that we're doing when it comes to on the academic side of the house. So building those relationships is a key. Talking to those students, finding out what's students have a lot of tough things going on in their personal life. They have a lot of tough things going on a day-to-day basis, and sometimes it just takes some time and spend some time with them to talk to them. But once they know that you care, and that's one of the biggest pieces is showing people, students, that you care. Me and Charles talk about this all the time. Even with your alumni, with anything that you're doing, if you show people you care, they might not agree with everything that you're doing, but they'll buy into your vision, and at the end, you all have the same goal. And that's our goal. Our goal is to support our student athletes, be the first campus, and with the leadership and the president of President Hudson, he has the same. He builds that same. Our faculty and staff believes in what we're doing, and we have a rich tradition. So we're going to continue to build on that tradition. But we also got to be a student first campus in order to get the numbers and to get the graduation rates and the success you need from an academic side of the house.
Thank you.
Certainly, with that, Charles, as we're getting on top of it, let me let you have the last question there in regards to DP. and Director of Athletics at Jackson State University.
Sure.
Ashley Robinson.
Well, I'm going to follow up on Mike's question a little bit in terms of talking about if you could expound a little bit more on the infrastructure in place at Jackson State in terms of from the coaches to the academic staff to the professors themselves that have kind of created this environment where your APR has been able to sustain itself over the past few years.
Well, we have an infrastructure. We have Associate Dean for Compliance and Academics that looks over the compliance and academic areas. And then we have a Director of Compliance. We have a Director of Academics. We have 3 advisors. We have 3 or 4 GAs. We have learning specialists on site. We have tutors. And we also have support from our faculty and staff with our student athletes. And what we do, we come together as a team. And I always say, in order for this to work, it can't be athletics. It can't be the faculty and staff, everybody together. And that's one of the things that I worked on, building those relationships to make sure we're all on the same page and to make sure we're at the end of the day, we want the same goal for those students. But we have to make sure in order to get there, we have to put those measures in place. And I think it starts with the structure and the organization with those, students. That day-to-day with that academic advisor with that student, meeting with them, setting those class schedules, making sure they're taking classes in their majors, meeting with their chairs and their deans across campus. I mean, in their areas, those are big keys that I think that's very important. Having that one-on-one with those students, you have to touch each one of those students. We have 311 athletes, Charles, and we just did analysis today. We have 166 athletes that have a 3.0 or higher, which is about 3%. And I think, I think we can do better. I think we can really, really do better. But that shows the work. I mean, our academic staff and our compliance staff, they really do a really good job. And and this is not an 8 to 5 job. This is 7 days a week. Sometime after hours. Sometimes early in the mornings. Having those labs available, and sometimes just being available. A lot of it deals with class attendance. Our coaches, they're tasked to do class attendance. And they do a really good job of because they spend the majority of their time with their coaches. I always, it's funny, switching from academic to athletics. I always talk to that strength and condition coach and the academic advisor when we got a big game of the week. How so? An academic advisor give me an answer, and I ask strength and condition, how is so-and-so doing? And when I ask those questions about those student athletes or that particular team, and I see the tone and what my strength and condition, what my academic advisor is going to tell me, it kind of tells me what kind of week we're going to have. And that is something that, because those individuals, from your academic advisor, your strength and condition coach, and your coaches, they're with those students, 50 to 60% of the time. So you have to make sure that they also learn to build relationships with their students and meet with your students. And that's a big part of the infrastructure. It's just building those relationships and showing them, again, going back to when we talked about with you, Mike, showing them that you care and being a student first, department and university.
Sure thing.
Well, with that, I know you probably time this perfectly so you can focus on Jackson State with all this other news out here. So we won't hold you up. But I did want people to realize, are you still like the chair of the athletic directors, VP? Y'all got all these titles, man, so it's hard to keep up. So I just director of athletics. Are you still the chair of that committee for the Southwestern Athletic Conference, better known as the SWAC?
Yes, I am the chair of that great committee. But for all
so it sounds like y'all might have some work to do.
One thing I say about, and I'm glad you brought the conference office up. I want to give my hats out to our commissioner. Commissioner McCullough has really done a really good job of changing the landscape of the conference. And I'm not just talking from an athletic director. I'm talking from a player. I'm talking from a student. I've been around this campus a long time. Some of the things that we're doing now, it shows. You see it. He's really building this conference. He's really excited about it. And some of the things that he's doing, he's supporting all 10 institutions. And that's something that I'm very proud about. And I want to say, thank you, Commissioner McCullough. I know this is something that we all have been asking for. And he's doing a really good job of leading us and guiding us and building this conference.
Wow.
Well, I think that says a lot and becomes evident when folks start looking at the SWAC in terms of a possible destination. I know first things first needs to take place, but if you would allow me, since you are the chair of that committee, what I would like to ask of you, if it does come to that place where it does sit on your table, if you would come to us and talk to us about that framework and how that works, and along with any other AD or obviously commissioner that you want to bring to the table at the appropriate time, if you would do us the honor to come back to us and talk about that framework. Obviously, again, you'll be able to talk about it from a perspective of Jackson State, but also from a collective that I think people want to hear. One thing that I'm a big about is with our fans, whether it is at the institutional level or conference level, is the more that we educate our fans, the better fans they are.
Right.
So I think we've built that rapport and the trust to understand that we know literally where to go and where not to go in regards to that. And obviously, you're been in the game long enough where you know to say, I can't answer that right now, whatever. But we would be honored if you would come to us back at the appropriate time, and let's talk more about what takes place next if things roll out the way they do tomorrow at Florida A&M.
I'll be honored to do that. I'll be honored to call you, Dr. Cavill, and be the first to go on to talk about that process. And I want to say to all HBCUs, alums, and fans, I said, if you don't support your institution at any other time,
amen.
Do it. This time, every alumni,
amen.
Every student, every coach, everybody that's a supporter of HBCUs, you should purchase a season tickets whether we have a season or not, and you shouldn't be in the line for a refund if you love your institution the way you say you love your institution. As I see my friend coming in with a shotgun sentence.
Surprise!
There we go.
You know he's gonna do it to you.
Shotgun.
But all seriously though, and I think he would agree. I mean, this is the time that we should all come in and support our institutions. And if HBCUs are strong as we say we are, this is a time to prove it. And we have
absolutely
resources. We have the alumni base to do what we need to do. But it's time now to support our HBCUs. And I tell you now, this is no better time to support our HBCUs. I tell you, I can see a lot of 5 and 4 stars. I just hope they don't go to Florida A&M when they come to Jackson State. But
That's what I'm doing. That's how we do it.
I can see it happening, Dr. Gill. I can see a lot of student athletes, a lot of students, changing, and parents starting to see that, hey, I tell you what, if they all come to us, you'll see a big change, when it comes to HBCUs. And,
yes.
We can be a Power 5 within itself, but we have to continue to support and our student athletes and be positive with all our institutions, be optimistic about what we're doing from a day-to-day basis to support all our HBCUs.
No doubt.
And thank you with that. Before we bid you to do, and you're welcome to stay on as we listen to Coach Simmons, but I would be remiss if I didn't first introduce Coach Simmons. People around these parts know you, so I won't go in that type of level of introduction, but I do want to be respectful in terms of putting that on paper and then give you a chance to say anything that you need to say. But actually, as he got a chance to kind of review, I wouldn't be fair if I wouldn't give you a chance to kind of push back. But this is for those that have been on the moon probably. This is Coach Willie Simmons, head football coach at Florida A&M University, better known as FAMU for all those out there. He's coming on here talking about the responsibilities of his coaching peers, activating their voices to be heard regarding George Floyd's tragic death and others. And as he says in the hashtag, which is appropriate, particularly in this as well, is leave no doubt behind, in terms of leave no doubt. Hashtag leave no doubt. I will say it again. With that, Coach Simmons, before I give you the platform to really stick on that, give you a chance to usher out, make a comment to Ashley Robinson.
Well, all I say is, judging by the way that I look, the way that you look, the way that Charles Bishop looks, all of us are following social distancing guidelines, but apparently Ashley Robinson gets to still go to his barber and get a fresh haircut, get a fresh shave. I mean, he's got his baby boy look going on right now, so I guess in Jackson they've lifted all the social distancing guidelines, but
it's one of your perks you get Charles to tell you about being a part of Jackson University.
Hey, he
got the barber coming to his house.
Yeah.
You know,
That's a special visit,
testing
barber.
everything. You know, at the mid always say, you test, you good, send the paperwork, he clear, come on through.
And
You know they got all that big space, big house, 2-3 stories. He probably had them up in the loft somewhere, way away from the family, so it ain't no problem. When you got it like that in Jackson, and they treat me that way. There's some things that we just don't quite understand. We don't get that.
And don't let them fool you. They got their fair share of 3, 4, and 5 stars up there in Jackson State too. So. I lost a couple of them to Jackson State, so I know.
The Giants.
Thank you, VP and Director of Athletics Ashley Robinson, the Jackson State University, as they like to say in those parts. Thank you for your time. And all seriousness, you are only a phone call away. Anytime you need to get information out, we certainly will reach out to you. Or anytime you just need to talk about different framing of what's going on out there, you're welcome to give us a call, come on the show, or just call me personally. With that, we thank you for your time.
Thank you, and I appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.